Do you ever think I should take this a little farther, and then you're like, fuck, it's too far? Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to go over the Smokey Glow and Midas Cosmetics collab. I do know that this has been out for a while, and they did do a pre-order in, I believe, January, I want to say, but with all the stuff with coronavirus going on, they did obviously have to delay the shipment a little bit. So I did get this in a few days ago. I have had a little bit of time to play with it, and I did do a look already with some of the pinks and purples. So I'm gonna just go through the kit first. So we have this lovely PR package with the Smokey Glow kind of logo. This is like a little caricature of her. I am going to show application on my face because I found when I do reviews in the past, people don't like it when I don't actually show live application and live commentary. So that's what we're gonna do today, okay? Also, I changed my hair. I just dyed it like 5 minutes ago. I use that semi-permanent colorista color, and can't lie, kind of like it. I used to have my hair like this a lot when I was younger, and then I went to straight black for a long time, and then recently in the last like 6 months or so I went to the like ombre blonde, and I still plan to go all the way gray, but with COVID-19 everything's on hold, so I got bored and this is what happened. Anyway, back to this. So we have the dual highlighter kit up here. I'm going to show application of both of these highlighters. We have the lip glosses here. There are 3 lip glosses in here, which I will go over separately. And then the Smokey Glow palette, which is in here. And this is what we're going to touch on first. I do try and keep all of my PR boxes because people have obviously put their blood, sweat, and tears into making sure those are nice. But without further ado, let's get into it. So the palette is an 18 color eyeshadow palette. It does have the ingredients on the back. It's very lovely, sparkly packaging. So we're gonna start with the palette. So this is the outside. It does say Smokey Glow, Midas Cosmetics, and Lovely Rose Gold. I'm sure you've seen the packaging before because I assume that you're here because you're looking to see if this is a purchase you want to make. I will only mention one thing, and it's like really, really nitpicky. But my Smokey Glow overlay is very scratched, and it was like that when I got it. I'm sure that it did happen while they were shipping it out, and obviously nothing is perfect, but I was kind of surprised that it was so scratched up. So these are the shades. I did this look with Jump Cut, which is this coral shade, Colleague, which is this bright pink shade. I used Leno in the corner. Some of the shade names are pretty funny. I will link her original launch video down below so you can find out what the names actually mean. Also, I realized my nails are ratchet as hell. Again, quarantine time, so we're just making do, man. I also use Content down here and Nutty a little bit as well. So overall, I liked all of the mattes. They were nice. Jump Cut took a little bit longer to build up than I had thought it would. Leno was very chunky but looked beautiful on the eye, so I don't actually have any complaints about that. I didn't love how it applied. I did have to use my finger, but again, that's okay. If you don't mind, you don't mind. Some people really hate using their finger to apply their makeup. I know Samantha March has a thing about that. Each to their own. I just found it did apply much better with my finger than a brush. That being said, be very careful with the shade because it is not packed very tightly. So today I'm going to do one look with some of the browns and golds and see what I can come up with there. And then I'm going to do another like kind of purple pink look and see what we come up with. So I'm just gonna prime my eyes with the NARS eyeshadow base. This is the eyeshadow base I've been using the most lately. It's definitely kicked all of my other eyeshadow bases off this planet as far as I'm concerned. I will definitely repurchase it. I also know that this eyeshadow base has been what has given me the best performance on my eyeshadows, so I want to keep it consistent, knowing how eyeshadows generally perform over this. In my first look, there was no creasing by the end of the day, which I thought was super nice, so good on you there. It's been a very long time since I've done an eyeshadow look on one side that's totally different from the one that's on the other side. I think I'm gonna do 2 different shapes as well, and then I hope everybody enjoys me doing the rest of this video with 2 different eye looks, but whatever. Okay, so let's start with the brown look. So I'm gonna go in with the shade Vote. For anybody that doesn't know, Hannah is a big believer in being a part of your democracy, regardless of which way you swing, and I would have to agree with that. It took me a long time not to be one of those people that was like, oh my God, it doesn't matter who I vote for, they're just gonna be liars anyway. So all of her videos have the link to vote down in the bottom. And that is the explanation for that. So far this is super pigmented and just need to work a little bit to get it to blend in. There is a little tiny bit of kick up in all of the matte shades that I have used so far. I'm gonna go in with Cold Brew, which is this like kind of creamy color. That color also came with like a little bit of a nick out of it, which I thought was a little bit weird. I'm just gonna do a little bit of diffusing out here as well because we got a little ahead of ourselves. So far this is a really nice like coolish undertone brown. I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. Okay, so on this side I'm gonna do the more standard shape that I would do. So it's like a crease color, a darker outer corner, and then like a shimmer on the inner corner and majority of my lid. So I'm just gonna take a flat shader brush and go in with the shade Rant, which is down here at the bottom. It's like a bright yellow gold. And I'm going to take that in through here. Okay, so that is what it looks like without using a finger. So I just want to give you a better idea of like the finger versus the brush. And I know that it's kind of hard to tell because I've already used a brush, but this is it with the finger. And it just packs it on so much better that I can't help but feel like it's almost like the formula needs to be tweaked just slightly. Just going back into Vote to clean up that part there. So now I'm going to go into the shade Instagram Model, which is this shade here. Again, I'm gonna just go right in with my finger and I'm gonna put that right on the center of my lid so that those just kind of blend together a little bit. I very rarely use my fingers to do my eyeshadow, like super, super rarely. Now let's try that one with the brush. That one, the brush between the finger, not a huge difference. Okay, so now I'm going to take the shade Half Pony and put it in my outer corner. Okay, so I wouldn't say that Half Pony is too much different from Vote when it really comes down to it. But I do appreciate the fact that this palette can do a more neutral look as well. I find a lot of palettes don't really do both very well. I'll blend that a little bit better. Again, I got a little carried away with myself. Okay, so just going back into Vote, just to blend this portion a little bit better. And then I'm gonna go into the shade Basic, which is the shade here. And I'm going to use that as my brow bone highlight and my inner corner highlight. Ooh, whoa. Basic is a beautiful shade, but it has a ton of kick up. I feel like I'm one of the only people left on YouTube who actually likes a really intense like inner corner and brow bone highlight. Like, I am here for it. All right, so we're just gonna leave it there for now, and I'm gonna do the other side, and then I'm gonna put on liner and put on mascara and do, in classic Smokey Glow fashion, a narcissistic montage. Okay, so I'm gonna try and use shades I haven't used yet. So what I think I'm going to start with is the shade, and I know what I just said, but I'm gonna start with Colleague as my main transition shade. And I'm gonna start at the outer corner and blow it up and mist the inner. See, this is what I'm talking about right here. It looks really, really bright in the pan, but it's not super bright once it goes on. but it is buildable, so it's actually kind of safe for people who are new to the brights game, as you're not gonna like get in here and get out of control super quickly. There is also a warning on the back, just so people are aware, if you are only getting here for the first time, about staining. So if you have sensitive eyes, I don't personally, just make sure you're really aware of using a base and making sure that this is not going to irritate your eyes or stain them if that's something that really affects you negatively. All right, so just put on my basic halo shape here, which means there is nothing over the middle of my eye, but there is eyeshadow on the top, in the crease, and on the inner and outer corner. And I just want to do a close-up for you while I have it to show you how much fallout came out of that very small amount of eyeshadow. So you're looking at the shade Colleague, and it's like all over the place. I have to apologize again for the lighting, you guys. It keeps on changing. I don't know how to keep it controlled now that the background is dark, so I'm sorry. Again, we've used Colleague on the inside, outside, and in the crease. And I'm going to just do a little tiny bit more in the crease because I feel like we can do better. Just doing your basic shape, and we're gonna go in with some other shades. Okay, so we are going to use the shade Amazing, which is over in the corner here, which is like a really dark burgundy. Burgundy. You know what I meant. We're just gonna darken up just the outer corner and up a bit into the crease, just slightly. And same with the inner corner. The best part about a halo eye is like it can be pretty messy and it doesn't matter. And I'm just gonna take it up just slightly past the crease. Back into Colleague, and we're gonna just kind of bring that together. So now I'm going to go into the shade Hello, which is the pink shimmer in the bottom corner. Again, I'm gonna use my finger. Whoops. This is why I don't only do it on one eye. There's a tiny bit of skipping I'm noticing right in here, but that could be just my skin, so I'll try and clean that up myself. Oh, this is a pretty shade. So the secret to a good halo eye is appreciating the messiness that it can be, but also making sure that it's properly blended in. So once you put on your center shade, you just want to blend the edges back together a little bit to just look like a highlight in the middle. Try and get rid of that skipping. Yeah, I figured it was just my skin. All right, so now that you have your center highlight portion in, don't go back into the brush, just kind of blend it all together. So you should have this really nice like gradient without being super obvious. But again, I did use my finger and not a brush on that center shade. Okay, so now I'm going to go into Basic, and again, I'm going to use that as my brow bone highlight, as well as my inner corner highlight. I do wish that there was a little bit lighter, like almost like a lilac shade. So I would have loved to had a lilac shade to like blend the top part out a little bit more. But I'm gonna go into just the brush I was using with Colleague to see if I can blow this up a little bit more. If you don't have a shade that you need, you can always, always, always just blind blend a shade that you already have up a little farther like that. Okay, here we are so far. So there's your neutral eye, and there is your bright halo eye. And I think I have used almost all of the shades, except I just haven't used Warrior and Rose. So far, I like it. I find the shimmers to be a little bit annoying not to be able to use with my brush, but at the same time, who cares? Do you really need to? I don't think so. All right, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna toss on some liner and some lashes, and then I'm going to do the demos for the lip products and the highlights. Okay, so I did just finish my liner and my mascara. So we are now going to do the lip products and the highlights. So I'm gonna start with the lip glosses. There is 3 that came with it. I do love the packaging. The packaging is super, super classy. So it came in this little, this is the sheath, and then this little container here. They are like a black top square gloss. It's kind of like no frills packaging, which I like, but it's a hard plastic. So the only one I haven't tried is Never Dull, so that's the one I'm gonna put on today. But I did try Hi Friends, which is this bright coral, and I tried Sparkle On, which is this like glitter, it's like a copper purple pink glitter. That is a very weird description, but that is the swatch. And it has like a duochrome to it. All of the applicators are the same. They're kind of like a flat doe foot. And the coral one is super, super opaque. I find myself to be very impressed with these. It's been a really long time that I've liked a lip gloss other than the Dominique Cosmetics lip glosses and the Fenty glosses. So let's try Never Dull together live. It'll be great. All right. So this is definitely my least favorite. The smell reminds me of something when I was in my childhood. I can't quite pinpoint what it is, but it definitely reminds me of something like almost like the Bonnabelle lip glosses. So because I don't really love how that looks, it's a little bit bland for me, especially with my 2 different color eyes right now. I'm gonna touch my lips with Sparkle On instead. Yeah, yep. I just can't get enough of this. It like really makes my teeth look super, super white and really brings out like this crazy kind of sparkly gloss look. I really, really dig it. I honestly have no complaints about any of these. If I was wearing something else, like if I was just running out to go run errands with no real makeup on, I could see myself wearing the Never Dull gloss, but I am more of like, if I'm gonna put the effort into wearing something on my face, it's gonna be big. Never Dull is my least favorite. My favorite is probably actually Hi Friends, which is the bright coral. Again, like, look how opaque that is for a lip gloss. And it's not like a lip gloss that's like going everywhere and going all over your face. And then the one I find myself liking the middleist is Sparkle On, only because you can definitely feel the sparkle. I'm just looking at myself in the mirror here. You can definitely like feel the glitters in it. Overall, pretty happy with those as well. I actually think the lip glosses are probably my favorite item from the collab, which I never thought would actually be the case. I definitely thought, like, by a landslide, it would have been the palette. Before I finish off my face with the highlighters, I do actually just want to touch on the palette again. I did end up putting a little bit of Nutty on the top of my lid, like just literally a touch up and down in between. And I'm gonna just finish off quickly underneath my lash line on camera so you can see it, because I did want to use the other shades that we had going in here that I hadn't touched yet. So I am gonna go into the shade Amazing with a pencil brush and just run that along my bottom lash line on this eye, mostly in this side where it should be a little darker. I'm thinking maybe I should have used, sorry, I should have used Warrior and Rose. That's okay. I kind of like how that looks anyway. So let's use Warrior. Whoa, that's gonna be pigmented. I just put my brush in like once and it picked up so much. Holy crap. So we just put a little bit of Warrior under here as well. We're just like doing this big. We're just going for it. And then Rose, I will drag in the rest of the way. So the bottom of my lash line is pretty intense. And I'm gonna blow the color all around my wing too, which I don't think I've ever done. Kind of an interesting type. Oh, what have I done? We're just gonna pretend like that didn't happen. So I wouldn't have taken it quite to this extent if I did this again. But live and learn. Overall, I do like both looks. Again, this one was my own fault. I would have not gone quite as far out here. Okay, so let's talk highlighters. So this one comes with 2 highlighters. We have a pink one, which is called Slay, and a goldish one, which is Yas. I've used the color Slay already. I will do Slay on the pink side, and I will do Yas on the neutral side so we can see how we feel about it. First, we're gonna go in with Slay, and I am using a more dense highlighting brush. This is a Morphe M438, and I'm just going to run it down my cheekbone here, right on top of my blush. I do think this is more natural than I ever thought it would be. I'm gonna put this on my nose as well. I really think it's kind of beautiful. Like, Slay is the one I've already used, and like, damn girl. I am on the fence on if it picks up on my texture or not, only because my skin is really, really bad right now. I don't know if it's just the texture I don't normally have showing through, and if I used other products that I wouldn't think showed texture, because I didn't really have any. I don't even know what I'm trying to say there, but I don't know if it's the texture of my actual skin because I have more acne than I ever have had before. Or if it's the highlight causing it, so I will defer to the masses. Oh my god, I put this in there as much as I did on Slay, and oh, it picked up way more. Okay, so we're gonna just go in here. Oh, this is pretty. Whoa. All right, so like, I'm the prettiest princess. I don't know if you know. So this one is definitely more natural looking than Yas, but Yas has kind of got me like feeling myself a little bit, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah. I probably could have stood to put a little bit more primer here on my skin just in general, but I like both of these highlighters. I do like Smoky Glow in general. I do want to be pretty forthright with that. I'm not trying to be hard on any of my commentary. I loved the way that all of the delays were handled. The company in general did an excellent job, and so did Hannah. Just thought I would put my hair back down. I can't even tell you how much more like myself I feel with this like purpley reddish hair. Even with 2 different eyeshadow looks, I feel much more like myself. So yeah, back to the collab. Overall, I think my favorite items are the lip glosses. I will put prices for everything in the description box, and Smoky Glow's / Hannah's discount code. Definitely lip glosses first. And then second is definitely the highlight and the palette. I don't think I could pick one I like more. The palette has a little bit more fallout than I thought it would. But overall, it's pretty good. I have now used all of the shades, and there is no shade I have any complaints about other than the shade Leno, which is an overall beautiful shade. Again, used it in this look here, but my complaint with it is that it is very loosely packed, and I worry that if I ever drop this, it would fall apart. So it like looks kind of crumbly, but swatches. Well, it doesn't even swatch that nicely, to be honest. I had not tried to swatch it before. It doesn't swatch amazing, but on the eye it did look very nice. So I can't really complain because it's about how things go on your eye, right? Not necessarily how it goes on a swatch. All right, so I'm gonna just close this off with my narcissistic montage. In tribute to Smoky Glow. Overall, I do think the entire collection was an excellent purchase, and I don't regret any of it. It is actually inspiring me to try a little bit more of Midas Cosmetics products. So definitely, if you have any recommendations, please let me know. I'm happy to hear them. I hope to see you back, and I hope you enjoyed this review and tutorial.